Hi.
Hey.
Does this work?
Yeah. Well, you
Well,
can't
all
hear me?
right.
All right.
I can hear you. Oh, yep. Now I just saw the notification. Apparently, YouTube had about a 30-second delay on the notification that we'd went live. I was starting to wonder. I was like, where is it?
You messing with me? Huh?
Nah, you're too tired for that.
Yeah. Oh shit! This time change kicking my ass.
Yeah, it's you haven't gotten up to date yet.
I'm too old for this crap. Anyway.
Well, I keep hearing that we're going to do away with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Promises. Promises.
There's one county in Alabama that they don't do it.
Okay.
They're actually on Eastern time, which is kind of weird, but part of this town is actually in Georgia. Which when I first heard that, I was like, no.
Well, how do they know what time zone to be on anyway?
They use Georgia's because most of the businesses and stuff in the town are on that side of the state line. So they use that time for everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's see. We've got Kelly hitting in from
Kelly's
Canada.
in from Saskatchewan.
Yeah. Like I always get messed up with that. Saskatchewan. Even in high school, like I couldn't always spit that out right.
Well, you're from Alabama. You're not supposed to say it right, so it's okay, right?
Okay, I get that.
All right.
And I'm the kind of person that if I could not say it correctly, I would almost not say it at all. That I would be like him, SAS or whatever. Because I don't want to mess it up. Because like with my first name being Carrie, man, it's got messed up a lot, and it always drove me nuts. So I don't like to do that to people. Yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Let's see. We got Oklahoma in here. Hawaii's here. North Carolina.
Yeah.
Frank, it has been a while.
Hasn't been that long. Maybe a long time for Frank. We were here last week. So
and
yes,
Jeff
Frank,
did call me.
Yes, Frank. I flat out called him a hick. Right. So
yeah, it is what it is, though.
If the heritage fits, wear it.
That's right. I'll put it on my head and wear it like a hat and play banjo music to it. Let's see. Dwayne's here from South Carolina.
Ooh.
Hey, I actually got a picture of him, and that gives me a good lead in for this. I posted a thing earlier today on the Facebook page. If you're using our supplement or our feed or any of our products and you take a bird to a show and you win a trophy or a ribbon, we want a picture of your bird with the trophy or the ribbon and tell us what you use and how you like it, what it's helped you find, and yeah, we want to hear about it. We're going to do a contest. We're going to give something away. Don't know what yet. That's going to be up to Jeff.
Well,
that way I can say, don't blame it on me.
If you can get that behind the scenes setup going for these guys in the show, for the show, then we can put the other photographs of holding really big trophies and cash. So, but anyway,
I'm working on that.
Right.
I figured out how to do it. The biggest dilemma now is the setup and how to. We've got a few trusted individuals that we know, so we'll let them vouch for people that we don't if they can, and I guess everybody else is just going to have to find two people they know that we know to vouch for them to get in.
Well,
Sorry, guys, we're just gonna have to keep it the club.
everything out there, if you log into like your bank or even Amazon or whatever, right? Now you have that two-part authentication. And
Yep.
than that, right? We're just doing two double authentications. So
and I mean that's more for y'all than it is for us, really.
yeah. I'm gonna have to vouch for Carrie. Well, I gotta find somebody else though. Vouch him in. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I had to find a second person for me. That way they can have me approve their login or my login.
Anyway,
Look, Dwayne
what are you
hauled this.
talking about?
Dwayne hauled this spangled bird. I don't know what it is about spotted birds, but Dwayne's got a bunch of them and he loves them. He brought one. He drug that son of a gun across 3 states and took home the trophy for that bird's category. And Jeff, I gotta say, the spangled is not in my yard, but
you know what?
They look pretty all right.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and there ain't nothing wrong with a spangle. So I ain't,
Now I gotta say,
if it makes you happy, have it.
Ain't nothing like the hues in the or the coloring in a gray, and ain't nothing like them purple and green hues that's in a hatch. Sorry. Oh, Frank had to work nights for the past month. That sucks. Yeah. See, I have really bad sleep problems. I could not do a swing shift. I never sleep now a whole lot. I wouldn't know if I was sleeping or going to work. That would mess me up bad.
Yep.
Hey, Elijah, we appreciate that. Let's see. How we got? Okay, Frank's got a question.
All right.
It's been years since he's been in the situation. He got 6 stags born in February. When do you dub them?
Okay. Now,
when's the next new moon?
Well, it's going to be in like 16 days.
Yeah.
Well, the full moon is on the 7th, so it should be the 21st.
Right.
So, but and Dwayne's got me confused because he's got his dubbing dates closer to the full moon, which, look, everything I know about, trimming anything on the head that involves blood, you do it in the new moon, right? Whether you're dehorning or anything, dubbing. So, the SCGBA calendar says it's going to be coming up, right? But I always do it new moon, right? So new moon should be about the 21st of November. But.
Yeah, my 2025 SCGBA calendar is in the lobby in there.
Okay.
I got my 26 right here waiting to put up. It's got some nice artwork in it.
Yeah, it does.
So
new moon, right? My opinion is new moon. So Dwayne says the dead pile's full of red chickens.
Uh-huh. All right. Let's see here.
Dwayne says the dubbing dates are the last Saturday and Sunday of November. So that would be past the new moon. Got me confused. So that's just.
So Dwayne said that it had to do with the astrological signs.
Okay.
When it's the period that's the head, that's when you do it. I think that's right, or maybe I got it backwards.
All right.
I don't know.
I don't either. I just know, like I said, when I'm dehorning cattle or I'm doing anything else, docking ears or whatever, right? We always do it on a new moon for the least amount of
Well, he said it was yesterday and the day before.
Yeah, I mean, you're coming right into the full moon, and I would think that they would bleed to death. But you know what? I'm not an expert. I just know what I know, and I do new moon. So,
So to answer your question, Frank, I think if the birds were born in February, they're old enough,
oh, they're
and
for sure old enough.
we're beyond the dog days of summer. Because I don't like to do it in the dog days of summer because it's really hot, and in Alabama it's also really humid, and that's just like asking for bacteria. So I always wait till after. Um, but I would say now on a new moon, you should be good. He said
Yeah.
it's been 30. Welcome back, buddy. It's been less than 30 days for me. I'm pretty sure some of those that hatched out in my mug brood pen are there's gonna be a stag or two in there. Let's see. Dwayne says you want the signs below the knee, but the feet is the best. December the 25th and the 22nd. 25th and 26th is the next one. Well, I know what some folks going to do Christmas Eve, Christmas Day.
Not really something you want to be doing on Christmas.
So, I mean, probably don't want it in there with the turkey either, but hey.
Yeah.
If you can get away with it, let it roll. All right, so we've got some questions.
Okay.
I've got a ton of them.
No.
Yes.
No.
Like, there's no way we're getting through all these tonight.
Man, you're past my bedtime. All right. Let's go.
So what I'm going to do tonight is, because time change and you're already an hour ahead and your brain thinks it's past your bedtime, I'm going to ask the easy questions and we'll save the hard ones for later.
You're no fun. Come on. Bring on the hard stuff.
What's the most important nutrient for gamefowl growth?
Huh? For growth?
Yeah.
It's going to be lysine. For all the losers, they still think it's protein, but your number one nutrient for muscle development and growth is going to be lysine.
Look, when I saw that question, 50 people, I bet, probably not, I hope not, but it was a lot, said protein. I'm like, protein ain't got to do with it. Anything above like 10 in the bird to stay alive. So
yeah, they are survivors, but it's all over the place. I mean, I got guys sending me tags for like 14% glorified scratch with a few peas in it, and I'm like, what all you're gonna do with this is make them fat. All right. And then I got other people who want to put them on game bird starter, right? 28-30% stuff. And I'm like, holy shit, you're just going to burn up the kidney.
I'm saying you want to fry their insides.
Yeah, I don't know. So
but I mean, hey, it's expensive. The bag looks good and it doesn't have any dust in it. So it's got to be the best, right?
Gotta be. Gotta be. So yeah. Along those lines, Elijah asked, best way to feed for muscle flexibility and versus muscle mass.
I like that question.
That is a really good question. And, I have not been asked this one before, but your muscle flexibility, Elijah, is going to come from a really good balance of potassium, all your electrolytes, right? So your sodium, your potassium, getting all those in balance, and you don't want to be too far out of whack on any of them, right? It's going to maintain your best overall flexibility without, making them fat but you got to be careful because too much is too much. It's a fine line of balance there. So, um,
What if they're all balanced, but they're all in proportion that they should be, but they're all high?
if they're all high, you're actually going to cause those tight muscles, right? You go too far one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and some people that I was talking about that overfeed protein,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they end up with those really, really tight muscles, but they're not getting the right, it's like everything has to be balanced to everything else, right? And it's just not, give them a bunch of this or give them a bunch of that. And that's where something like the jitter juice, because you're getting like a natural potassium, a natural sodium, not highly processed, synthesized, crap, and should help really good with muscle recovery and, keeping that muscle. But again, you don't want to do it every day. You got to pick up your bird and feel them and know what they're doing. And, you got to be able to adjust on the fly, right?
So Saturday, I was at the Alabama Game Breeders show, and guy came up to the table. There's a couple people there, and he picked up jitter juice, and he goes, "Is this stuff like strychnine?" I said, no. Your bird can have that and live. That's I mean that stuff's not bad for you. It has a lot of positive effects. He goes, yeah, right. It ain't that good for you. I said, really? Reached over, grabbed the bottle, took the lid off, put some in my mouth. I said, I mean, I've been going on 4 hours sleep since about a quarter after 4 this morning. And this monster that I've had and the coffee ain't doing it, but this right here is going to give me a pickup. He said, you just drank that. I said, I told you it wasn't bad for you. So
Did he shit himself?
he walked off.
Okay.
Like he didn't know what to think.
Well, that's one way to shut him up.
He did come back and buy some.
Did he? Okay.
Mm-hmm. But
there you go.
Let's
Hopefully
see.
he knows how to use it.
Wouldn't follow the instructions if they were on the bottle, probably.
Probably not.
Vet told Dwayne that burnt motor oil was 27% protein.
I don't know. Maybe.
Hey, if that's the case,
Yeah.
don't worry about coconut oil. Just use that.
All right.
I like off topic.
Yeah.
What do you recommend for Bumblefoot?
There is no off topic. Come on, man.
I mean, it is a chicken show.
Yeah, you can ask anything you want. So, look, Julian, Bumblefoot is a pain in the, you know what? And, all right, so to fix Bumblefoot, you need to clean up and freshen up the bedding, right? So, we've got to get them on some clean ground or clean bedding. But you can try soaking the foot in Epsom salt bath, but most of the time you're going to end up opening it up, draining it, rinsing it with an antiseptic, rinsing it, some hydrogen peroxide or something like that, wipe it down with some alcohol. Listerine. No, yeah, that really burns. You really want to set that bird on fire. So, then you want to put a little bit of gauze or cotton or something under there and then wrap it up with a little bit of vet wrap underneath to keep it clean and let it heal. So that's about the best you're going to do. But you got to get them on clean, dry, soft, bedding. All right.
Yeah, because once you open that thing up to let the stuff out, if it's not on, I mean, that makeshift Band-Aid's only going to stay there for so long. And if you don't put it on clean bedding and totally redo the ground that it's on, eventually you're going to have more infected than just the foot.
Yeah. Yeah, if you let bumblefoot go too long, it'll start working its way up the shank, and can turn into blood poisoning and be a real problem. So just, get on it quick. But
And there was a line at times to get stuff or at least ask questions. And yeah, I told Tamara, I was like, I really needed backup.
you know,
But,
they,
luckily at shows, you don't really run into a dishonest group of people there. It's kind of like being at a campground. And I was able to finally take off running to the porta pot about 11:30, 12 o'clock.
hey, they got to move these get-togethers out of hunting season, man. I mean, come on.
You are onto something. And to be honest, I think a lot of the guys there were hunters. So I would
Right,
think they
but they're
would
not.
get it.
They're only going to lose one day, right? For me to drive to Alabama, I would have lost a day driving each way. So there's two.
Yeah,
So
you
I
lose
would have lost
3 days
at least
max. I mean minimum
minimum,
3 days.
minimum, minimum, right? And then you get back and you feel like dog shit because you just drove 600-700 miles, and then you're not going to go the day after you get back. So yeah, that's
So funny story too. Dwayne was just coming to hang out, see folks, and he wanted to talk to Sambo and this, that, and the third. He wound up being one of the judges for the show, so that worked out. And I do know that he would have been there and had my back if he wasn't off running the judging. Or I think him and one other guy and Monique judged 4 or 5 rows of birds, and these 2 other guys judged a couple rows. I mean, judging started at like 9:30, and it was still going strong at lunchtime. So let's see here. Why does it seem like almost all chicken competitions are based on conformity instead of breed performance or chicken of tomorrow and laying competitions, flavor, etc.? That is a great question.
it is. And here's the thing: it's like any other animal. Okay, whether you go to a horse show, a cattle show, a goat show, a sheep show, a chicken show, it don't matter, right? Everybody's using their eyes primarily for the judging.
Mm-hmm.
How good does it look? Okay.
Yep.
And they're not, so
And see, with a laying competition, I hate to say it, but there would be somebody that might embellish a little bit on their records.
yeah, the other stuff is too hard to prove. I mean,
Yeah.
short of killing a chicken and serving it and having a taste testing competition, but you know, uh,
Yeah, that's a different conference. That's the
that's
American Pastured Poultry Producers Conference,
yeah,
where they actually do that.
yeah.
That's pretty awesome too. But I mean, hey, I would be all for judging a competition that was based off of flavor for sure.
Yeah, but our appetite isn't what it used to be, Carrie. So
I get that.
I'd have to study for the test.
And you know what? I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Let's see. Witch hazel works really good.
Yeah, it does. It's a good disinfectant. I like witch hazel. So you still, depending on how big that bumblefoot is, going to have to open it up and drain it out. You got to get to where, if a callus is formed over the opening where the bacteria got into the foot, you've got to let it out, right? Otherwise, it's going to be a really slow curing process.
Let's see. Do you prefer more pellet than grains in a feed mix or the other way around?
Uh, so if I'm going to have a pellet in my grain mix. It's going to be the 36% protein pellet, and then it's going to be 3 parts grain and 1 part pellet. I want as many grains in a feed as I can and still be balanced, because I get more gizzard work. I make the gizzard work more with grains than I do with pellets, right? So the bird will be healthier if you can get the right protein pellet, right? And you can.
I know a guy.
I know a guy, but the if you can get to 3/4 grain and 1/4, pellet that has all your protein or most of your protein, and all your vitamins and minerals and stuff in it, then that's a win-win, right? So, have you been selling any of the 36 protein pellet?
Yep. Quite a bit actually. There's a couple people that they want to feed, but they don't want to deal with a mess, or they don't want to mix it up like every week because they don't have the time. So, I say,
Now wait,
okay.
now wait. This feels to me like an oxymoron, right? Because
Well, so they want them to have good feed,
right, but
but they don't have the time to make it. I get that.
every Gamefowl owner that ever contacts me is like, well, I want to mix this in and I want to mix this in. So they want to mix it anyway. So and now they're telling you, I ain't got time.
This person actually did not want to mix a whole bunch of random stuff in. I saw in one group where somebody was complaining because their chickens had just stopped laying. And when, they did post a picture of them, which is always something I like to see. And Jeff, these things look like, let's see, a Red Ranger Cornish cross.
What?
And they don't understand why it quit laying. But I'm like, your chicken should be half that size. And you know me, I just said, well, what you feeding it? Then people are like, yeah, you need to give it some layer pellets. They won't lay if you're not giving them layer pellets.
Jesus,
but they were feeding, the person was feeding a good feed. They were also giving handfuls of mealworms and mixing in black oil sunflower seeds, a ridiculous amount. And I'm like, well, that's how your bird got fat.
Yeah.
I said, you need to put that bird through a good molt and let it get back down to the weight that it should be.
Yeah.
And make sure it's on about 16 hours of light a day. They'll go back to laying like a machine. I'm pretty sure the actual bird was like an Isa Brown or a Highline or Novagen, something along those lines that they got, from a layer house or something.
But it weighed too much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like picture a leghorn that was the size of one of my Rhode Island Reds.
Well, it's like Frank says, right? Okay, so back in the day, and he's right, when you had acres, right, you had a large run area and it was set up right. It was brushy and had a bunch of tree limbs on the ground and, fallen trees and whatever. Yeah.
And you didn't have about 100 too many.
Yeah. Yeah. You could just, you could throw some corn out there, cracked corn, scratch, whatever. Right. And, they could get all the bugs they needed. Right. They're out there getting their own protein, digging and scratching and carrying on. But, Frank must be old like me to remember shit like that. So there's still guys that only feed corn and think they're free ranging and they end up with fat chickens. But
like when my son had Gamefowl about 10 years ago, we lived on a decent sized spot that backed up to forest. And, he would feed scratch and his birds looked great, but there you could go looking for ticks and you would not find one.
Yeah.
They took care of that, spiders. Like we didn't have a bug problem and we lived in the middle of the woods. So that's where they got their nutrition from.
Yeah. Hey, my buddy Jason from almost to the Mexico border in South Texas finally was able to jump on a live show.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see if you
Oh, sorry. Which one were you on?
Oh, I was going to do the one that you starred
Okay.
that said where's the well, go ahead, I'll find it.
Elijah, to be honest, I have not played with creatine yet. I think, people are using it because bodybuilders are using it. People that are doing intense weightlifting and they find that they have better muscle recovery after it. Um, I I can't answer your question whether you want a monohydrate or a nitrate. I mean, most of the amino acid type products that we have are monohydrate, and the bird should be able to break it down. But
Mm-hmm.
I can't begin to tell you, how much you should give or not. Right now, creatine seems to be, the new buzzword in the gamefowl industry. I don't know if it's going to make a difference or not. So I wouldn't use it on all of them. I'd pick a couple and see what you think. Um, you know,
I definitely try it out ahead of time.
yeah, but I don't think it's everything it's cracked up to be. But I'm hearing a lot of buzz about it as well, and I don't think it's going to make the difference. But again, it depends on what the quality of the feed is to begin with. Okay, so if somebody's using local crappy store bought pellets, then it probably is going to do something. So
Well, I mean, yeah, because it's probably giving them something they're actually missing. This is the one that I was talking about.
uh,
If you don't use grit,
if you don't feed grit,
you're
and
better off to give an all pellet.
well, Dwayne's 90% right, but I would say if you're not going to feed grit, you shouldn't own chickens, right? Because it's
Yeah.
cruel and inhumane. It's just flat stupid. Okay, so but Dwayne said it a lot more politically correct than I would have.
He was being nice.
Yeah, he was.
But, this might be a dumb question. A lot of the guys are in here. Skip a day feeding. Some don't feed on Saturdays as if they were going to a barbecue that day, and some skip Sunday. Is that right?
I don't skip any day, but you know what? Somehow this got started that if a bird was slow eating, didn't clean up his feed as fast as the owner thought he should, they would just go to a skip a day feeding. I'm not sure the purpose of it. It doesn't, I mean, I guess they want to empty them out once a week or something. It just doesn't. I don't see a point in it. If you're feeding the right amount on a daily basis, there should be no need to skip a day. Now, if you're overfeeding, yes, then I can see it probably don't hurt if they're a little slow cleaning up, but just cut back on how much you give every day and they'll clean it up.
I was
So,
gonna say that could also be a result of feeding too much.
yeah. And a lot of guys do. They're either measuring with the Vienna sausage can theory goes far and wide, far and wide. So,
This right here.
yeah, how much does that hold?
So this is a commercial kitchen, sure enough, measuring scoop spoon, like they have in lunchroom lines and stuff like this. One of them that is a 4-ounce cup holds 3 ounces of feed within a couple grams. And I did not fill it up. and do like that before I measured it. I filled it up and did like that. So I was like, that's about right.
Yeah, but even 3 ounces, okay, 3 ounces of your feed will make them fat. Okay. So,
That's why it's here. And I have one that says 3 right here that is just over 2 ounces
right.
of
So,
actual feed.
somewhere between 2.25 to 2.5 ounces, depending on their activity level, is about where you want to be, with your feed formula that I made for you. Right. So, don't get crazy.
Yeah, like this is made by Carlisle. It's got the NSF stamp on it. But with my feed that's a mashed grain mix, the 3 ounce cup is like 2.6 ish if it's completely level. Usually on the birds that I want to be strict and really calculate, I will make my scoop and give it a shake. So it's a little less, closer to the 2.3, 2.4 ounce mark
Yeah.
is what they actually get. So they'll stay where they should.
Right. If you want to hold weight, right? If you want to hold weight or keep them where they're at their optimum body weight, that's where you need to be. So Frank fed a non-GMO layer feed, and he got an egg all spring and summer. He got an egg a day from his game hens, and that's what they should be doing. Frank, which brand of non-GMO layer are you using? You getting it from Cary or Kraut Creek? Just curious. Yeah, Dwayne's right. If you don't feed your chickens every day, you shouldn't eat either. So,
yeah. And you should always have grit available to your birds. If you
okay,
do like me and you mix it in their feed, 2% is a good amount.
it's well, look, and I'm finding that in both the Gamefowl and other poultry breeder worlds, they grit is something they just don't know anything about, right? I mean, I don't know how we forgot about grit in the poultry world. But yeah, you can add it at 1 to 2% of their feed, Paul, or you can put it in a cup free choice, hang it in their pen, whatever works for you. But they should always have access to grit. Okay. And they know when enough is enough, and they'll balance it out all by themselves. They don't really need your help. So they got enough instinct to know how much grit to eat.
One of the things that I see a lot of people talking about is all kinds of different hocus pocus ways to lower their feed bill.
Well, grit guaranteed lowers your feed bill 7 to 10% or more. Right. So it's a win-win. But, I often use this analogy to people. You ever wonder why early in the morning and right at dusk at the end of the day, you ever wonder why there's so many doves and pigeons and birds alongside the road? They're picking grit. Okay. It's a necessary part of every bird's diet. So,
Frank's using the Nature Crest.
I don't know that one.
It's by Tucker Millen. It's their non-GMO. And what's crazy is it's their non-GMO better line of feed, but the bag looks like crap compared to the artwork on some of their other bags. Because it's like, it's just paper. It's kind of bland, and it is what it is. But on their other stuff, they've got beautiful pictures, vibrant colors, all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, shouldn't you like steer your people towards your premium stuff?
No.
Man.
And I wonder how premium their non-GMO actually is. But anyway, we don't go there. Okay. Because I think when I looked at a label, their idea of non-GMO is they were using only ingredients that could not possibly be GMO. So there was like no corn, no soy in those feeds. It was milo, peas, like meat and bone meal. The last time I looked at an ingredient for Tucker's non-GMO, I just didn't know they put a name on it. So
Yeah, they're corn and soy free, GMO free ingredients.
right. So their way of making non-GMO is to use grains that have not been genetically modified, right? So milo, barley, wheat for the most part, but yeah.
Wheat mids, rice bran, ground feed wheat, dehydrated alfalfa, rice meal byproducts, fish meal, and then all the other goodies. That's what's in it.
What was the protein? Peas? What was
Wheat mid, rice bran,
what was the first ingredient?
wheat mids.
So they start right out at 16% with the wheat mids. So they don't, on paper, they don't have to add a lot of other. Okay, got it.
It's a 16%, 0.9 lysine, 0.35 methionine. Don't list
How much
threonine.
lysine?
0.9,
And how much methionine?
0.35.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'll say this, in the South, if you walk into a feed store, they got it everywhere. So
Yeah, they called me once about 10 years ago and about Poultry NutriBalancer or something, and we just didn't hit it off. So they wanted something cheaper. So, all right.
yep. Let's see. Had a guy tell me today if I wasn't feeding Hen House Reserve, I was missing out on the best feed ever. Well, that guy has been grossly misinformed.
Oh, look, it might wait. In his defense, the Hen House Reserve is probably 2 steps up from what he was feeding before.
Okay, I'll give that.
All right. He was probably feeding some Tractor Supply, layer pellet bullshit. And so Hen House Reserve is 2 steps up from that.
But like what it still kills me that they bend people over a barrel for that formula. And it's not even their best formula as it relates to what the chicken should have.
You and I both know that, the flock maker is the place to be. But you know what? That's just, I can't,
Frank said that his birds won't eat anything else if he runs out of it. When nobody's getting eggs late last year, this spring, he was getting them. Frank, I'll say this. Once you get your birds on that, as some people call it, bougie non-GMO feed, and you go give them something from Tractor Supply, and they're going to stick their nose up and be like, what is this crap? I'm not a peasant. So, yep. Those ugly bags are like barbecue restaurants, the old run down looking.
Uh-huh.
Look, hey, he's not lying.
He's not.
Look,
He's not.
I mean, if I'm eating barbecue and I pull up to a place that I've never been and it looks like it's sketchy as all get out, one hard wind from falling apart, or the thing might catch a fire from the grill any minute,
it's good eating.
I'm in the right place.
Yeah. Yeah. You're afraid to sit down and you're not going to use the restroom. But anyway, no.
The chair might break.
Yeah.
He's getting 50 pounds for $18.
Well, it's 50% wheat middlings, Frank. It should only be, and Tucker's still making a profit at that $18. But
a good one.
Yeah, a big one.
Let's see. Is Big V Feeds a decent Gamefowl feed?
Look, so I have recommended the Big V Always kernels. I haven't looked at all the feeds that Big V offers, but I can take the Big V Always kernels and it's 20%. I can add a little bit of cracked corn and oats to that, get it down to 18, but I still need to boost it with something, like a Show Pro supplement or something like that. Big V, 5-6 years ago had a pretty decent feed. I don't know if it's still as good as it once was, but I do know at one point the all whey kernels was pretty good feed.
I was gonna say I've looked at some of their feed tags and it's been pretty good feed. I've seen
Right.
others, but that a lot of companies they have their good stuff and they have the stuff because they still want to make money.
Right. Yep. They always will.
To answer this question, what I would do is I would use it like normal until the last week, at least for sure the last 3 days. And then I would cut the last week, I would cut the oil in half. When you get down to the last 3 days, I would cut the oil altogether and use something like eggs to hold it together.
Yeah. You need to be off the oil the last 5 days. Oil will slow down the drying out process. So you can use the Rapido or the Show Pro right up till the last day, right? You can use it. It does not slow anything down, but the oil,
It can be in your teaspoon that morning too.
yeah. But you want to get off the oil for the last 5 days anyway, 5 to 7 days. So whether you're using chopped up liver, where you're using egg white, something else to stick it to the feed is fine. Just you want to get off the oil for that last 5 or 6 days.
Half a day, Ethan.
Half a day, Ethan.
I saw that. I've been waiting on it.
Yeah, he was late. I don't know where he was. Come on, man.
Better late than never. And and look, the Mexican restaurants are the same too.
Yeah.
Some of them, I've had Mexican in a trailer that was sitting on the side of the road. It's probably some of the best tacos I've had. Dwayne had a guy in Alabama ask him what he put on his bird to keep the feather mites off. He told him it's not what he put on them, but what he put in them.
Right. But with the with his concoction, with the garlic and the cayenne and all that he puts together, yeah, there's no way he's going to get mites or lice. So
let's see, Tucker or Ware milling or both are about the same.
They are. That's a true statement.
Yep.
So, 100%.
Dwayne uses oat milk.
Oh, Dwayne, we got to get you to change your ways there, buddy.
Stick it to his feet. I think he's talking about in the keep.
I know. But oat milk has too much sugar in it. That's the only thing I'm worried about. It's not really great for a chicken, the sugar part of it.
Yeah. And Frank, with the boiled egg and the rice, you put that stuff in there and it gives them a meat-based protein to go with it. They will definitely eat it up.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with an ounce and a half of boiled egg and cooked rice. So,
well, you know what, Ethan? I would much rather you pay attention to whatever you're welding.
Yes, please.
Because that could go wrong. That wouldn't be good. So I get it. I appreciate it. Let's see. You get feather mites. We use some deep bug repellent to get rid of mites. Yeah. I have sulfur in my feed for that, and it doesn't. Between the sulfur, and the garlic, I don't have a problem.
Right. If you get the sulfur level up in the bloodstream, the mites will not. The sulfur and the garlic in combination, you should not have any bug issues at all. Right. And
yeah,
you guys in the South fighting fowl pox because you have a lot more mosquitoes than we do. You have them more year round than we do. Let's put it that way. But yeah, that sulfur and that garlic in the feed, definitely a win-win, right? So
yeah. And in the South, you can actually put up bat houses, and that'll help with your mosquito problem. Kelly says, will good feed make your fowl close to bulletproof when it comes to diseases?
Yeah, 90% anyway. I mean, if their immune system is functioning at 100%, right, and everything's working, then yeah, um, they're just not going to get anything, right? I mean, that just yeah, I'd say they're going to be 80 to 90% bulletproof. Nothing's ever 100%, but that's going to get you really close.
What is the best way to incorporate garlic into their diet?
Just mix it in. Um, I don't remember, what did I tell you? How much per? I don't remember how much I told you to mix in, like 12 pounds.
Table. Was it a tablespoon?
It's a half an ounce per 2.5 gallons of feed.
Yeah,
It's
half
one
ounce
half ounce. So that's
per
going to be
half
about
bucket.
a tablespoon. Um, it's not very heavy, so a slightly rounded tablespoon for 2.5 gallons of feed.
Yep. Another thing you can do is, if you want to give it to them, get you a 5-gallon bucket, smash you up a clove, throw it over in there, set that 5-gallon bucket of water over to the side, and wait 2 days and water them with that water. Awesome. We appreciate it. Love it.
Yeah. Sean showed up late tonight too. This
That's all
time
right.
change, I think, has got a bunch of guys messed up. So
I mean, hey, look, we were almost late.
yeah.
You
Speak for
know?
yourself. I am always early, right? I am
Okay,
always
you are
early.
more early than I, but
Yes. You
man,
give me
traffic on the
anxiety worried
interstate
about
was rough. I need to find me some sulfur. That's one thing I haven't got my hands on to mix feed.
Jason. If you go to,
I know a guy.
well, I know a guy too, but look, if you go to any good garden center, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
even Home Depot and Lowe's sell it. As long as it's 99% sulfur, right? Even though you got it in the garden center, it is fine to feed your chickens. Okay.
Yep.
Now, if you need me to ship you 5 or 10 pounds or 50 pounds, but that would be really odd because there's a lot of sulfur that comes out of Texas. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Texas sulfur, get a 50-pound bag of powdered 99% sulfur. It's right there in Texas, man. So,
I was gonna say you can even get it off of Amazon.
yeah.
Just feed
So,
quality, 99%. Look for those two things and you're good.
yeah. And look, that's the same amount as the garlic. So if you get a really good dried, garlic powder and you get the sulfur, it's going to be 1 tablespoon, one slightly rounded tablespoon for every 2.5 gallons of feed. Okay.
Yep.
Because Sean's question was next, and that was, how do I add sulfur to my feed?
Yep.
How much do I add? And it does not affect the Show Pro whatsoever. So you're fine. You can use it and the garlic in the feed. It's one slightly rounded tablespoon for 2.5 gallons of feed. Mix it in as good as you can. Don't get crazy about it, but try to get it mixed in there. If they get some today and they don't get any tomorrow, it's still going to work, right? So don't get hung up on being perfect at it. So it's,
Just find your rhythm and stick with it.
yeah.
And Dwayne points out minced garlic is not the same as fresh.
No, and I don't know why it is. I mean, it tastes okay in food, but for using it for medicinal purposes, he's 100% right. That stuff you buy, that minced garlic and whatever that liquid
You
is
can't
not.
bruise it. It's already been
Yeah,
bruised a
yeah,
long time ago.
yep.
Let's see. Paul says, I feed blue bonnet maintenance with a feather fixer and a Showtime Valiente mix. them all equally, and it's expensive to do that. Am I wasting my money, or is it good feed?
Well, the bluebonnet maintenance is nothing impressive. Okay, so it's kind of glorified scratch. Feather Fixer's a pretty nice feed, and the Showtime Valiente mix is a okay feed. But for what you're spending, Paul, I think you can. I don't know where you're at. I don't know what state or anything like that, but I think we can do you better for less. So if you want to reach out at some point, we can review it. Let me know where you're at, and we'll see if we can't help you make some changes.
Funny thing about that Feather Fixer formula, the methionine level, which is like the primary amino acid for feathers, is
It's really low.
lower
Yeah,
than what it is
I
in their
know.
all flock.
I know.
Like, how is that a feather fixer?
Their flock maker used to be 1.1 lysine, 0.55 methionine, and it was about the highest one on the market. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's still the numbers. Or did I see that they're down to 1.1 and 0.5 methionine? But anyway, it's still about the highest one.
I was gonna say that's still better than what most.
Yeah. Now, their ingredients aren't bad, right? But to make a crumble or to make a pellet, they still got to add byproducts. So it's
it's still got crap. The lysine is 1.1 is advertised now, and it's still advertised as 0.55.
Okay, so they didn't change it. That's good. Mm-hmm. I mean,
and as far it has good levels of vitamins.
Yeah, as far as what you can find on the market, that has as nice a label as just about anything, until you start going to a truly premium, custom mix. Like your Gamefowl Conditioner 18 is higher than that. But not everybody's going to spend that money. So it's okay.
Right. And, the thing about it is the amino acids and the vitamins is what makes up the vast majority of the cost. Yeah. I didn't used to think that there was anything to that, but the more I've learned about feed over the years, I can just about look at a feed tag and guess within $1 how much that feed costs.
Isn't it amazing how you learn how to do that? So, Ethan, I don't want you adding a whole lot of copper all the time, right? You should only be running copper, maybe 2 or 3 days in a month at the most, because with what's in the Rapido or the Show Pro, plus there's some already added to your feed, you can overdose on copper. So go easy on adding copper. But when you want to mix it, then yes, it's going to be about a level tablespoon in that 2.5 gallons of feed, right? But don't do it all the time. You can go toxic on that. So
let's see. Frank says that I mentioned in a post on Facebook about biddies. That just your laying birds or your game birds? What did I say about biddies?
I think you talked about, you just had another hatch of biddies here, less than a month ago?
Oh, that was some mugs that hatched out.
Yeah, that's your coal miner mugs, right?
I had one of my pens of that hatched out a lot more than what I thought would hatch out. And then before that, I had some grays hatched out. All right. Impacts in. Jeff, where's the best place to send your feed to get an analysis done?
Yeah, I just posted it, but it's New Jersey Feed Lab is probably the most recognized in the country as far as doing feed. Look, Dwayne, I know you want to know everything that's in it, but let me tell you, like getting a full amino acid.
Go on and do that, Dwayne.
Yeah.
I got a couple that I'd like to send you if you want to get nerdy and do that. And
holy cow.
Flex your ink pen and make sure to hold on to your checkbook when you write that out.
Yeah. I mean, they'll tell you anything you want to know. If you got deep enough pockets, they'll tell you anything you want to know. So
I had someone that is in the beef cattle industry that found a feed that produced amazing results. And he was like, "Hey, I want to copy this. Can you do that?" I said, "Sure." I need like 4 ounces of it. No problem. I got it. Had it literally in a water bottle. Okay. And I get on their website and I look it up, and there's no markup. Like, I don't need to make money off your analysis stuff. I'm just going to help you fill out the paperwork to make sure it's right. And it was like, the first test was like $1,200 or something like that. But to get the full profile of everything that was in it, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be, you got to be serious about what you want. Just to drop the coin to figure out all the vitamins, all the amino acids, right? Calcium, phosphorus, and all the minerals, and so.
Let's see. What are your thoughts on the Vitman Pro?
Come on, man, Julian, you're killing me. I don't like to talk bad about things. Yeah, it's not worth what it cost. Let's put it that way, right? So it don't stack up against the Show Pro. That's for sure.
Let's see. Dustin says that he got a bag Saturday at the show, mixed it with his conditioners, and the cups have been completely empty.
Yeah.
And look, I'm going to tell you this: once your birds get used to it, they're going to be a little stuck up if you try to put some do more in front of them.
Oh, yeah.
The easiest way would be the whole 50-pound bag, because you do a pound to a 50-pound bag.
Right.
So 1/10 of a pound would be what? Oh, Jeff had to yawn to calculate that one. He's going to do it.
What'd you say?
1/10 of a pound.
Yeah, so it's
That's what.
Yeah, 1/10 of a pound is like 0.08. So it's going to be just over an ounce, like an ounce and a quarter. So again,
and that's not a shot glass. That's by weight, not by volume.
Yeah. Come on, man. You can't tell a cocker that. Everything's by volume, right? It's all by volume.
Well, it is if you measure it out. Okay. Like, my 4-ounce cup
it's
has
probably
3 ounces.
Probably like a heaping tablespoon, right? That kind of
now thing. Hey, look, if you put a heaping tablespoon per 5 pounds of feed.
Oh, no, wait. That was per pound. Or no, you're right. That's per
5. Yeah.
Well, this is a good place to use that potted meat can, right? So if you just get your potted meat can out, that's about the only thing it's good for,
And the good thing is, they're not going to OD on rocks.
Sean, don't quit trying to measure the grit, right? Just take a handful, throw it in there, mix it up a little bit, feed it. And, if there's some left over in the bottom of the cup, then they have enough, right? If there's none in the bottom of the cup, they need more. So
I drilled holes in the bottom of my feed cups, and, there's like 4 1/4-inch holes in the feed cups. And some days I'll walk by and there'll be a decent amount of grit, and some days there won't hardly be any. And to me, if there's grit in there, that just means the holes aren't going to get clogged up if it rains.
Yeah, like Frank says, his chickens will tell him what he needs, not needs it or not. So,
I wish babies could do that.
I wish guys would just get the small yogurt cups and wire them to the side of their pens and just keep them full of grit, and we're all good.
Well, they'd have to eat yogurt in order to have those cups.
Too healthy for most Gamefowl people?
Okay.
Just saying, huh?
You know,
they'd rather
we would have
Vienna
a better
sausage.
we would have a better chance of getting the Vienna sausage cans.
Right. You could wire a Vienna sausage can to the side of the pen.
Hey, they're metal too. They'll hold up real well.
They'll hold up for a long time. So, all right.
I would do it.
You got anything else, or we're at our hour? So
we're past the hour. All the questions and everything that we needed to talk about in the comment section has been addressed. So with that, I say good night, everybody. We will see y'all next week.
See you next week.
We would like to take a moment to thank our friends over at ShowPro Farm Supply for their generous sponsorship and support. Whether you're raising heritage poultry, show poultry, gamefowl, or other species of livestock, ShowPro offers custom formulated feeds and supplements to help your animals reach their full genetic potential. And they don't stop at livestock. They also carry Alumacoop's movable poultry housing, plus a full line of Fertrell farm and garden products, so your whole homestead gets what it needs to thrive. Check out ShowPro Farm Supply, where nutrition meets know-how.